Hi guys, I thought I would get on here and I've decided to pull tons of books off of my bookshelf down in our home library because over the years I know I've done my research on different books for my children to read over the years for assigned reading, and I thought I need to share what my children have read over the years and in what grade they read these different books. And then just so you know, children, they typically start reading really well around third grade. Now, I would say that is a child who is an advanced reader. Most children's reading doesn't take off until about fourth or fifth grade. And I say these things for those children who do not have issues with learning or any other disabilities or things going on with their reading. But I know I've done research over the years. I follow different people on all sorts of different social media platforms to pick out different books for my children to read. And I thought I would share that with you guys over the past years, what my children have read. And so this intro will be on those subsequent videos, but I thought that I would get on here and let you know I have piles of books right now on my dining room table, and I can't wait to share those. Guys, I wanted to get on here and share what my oldest read during the school year 2021 to 2022 when he was in fifth grade. Now this year I have piles of books because he devoured books and he wanted to beat, he made a personal goal for himself to read 75 books this school year because he wanted to beat his previous years of reading books. So I have lots of books to share, so bear with me as I'm moving piles around during this video. And then if you see me looking down, I have some notes down here too for some books I may not have on hand if someone's borrowing them, or we may have sold them, different things like that. So I will share that. So this was the school year. My oldest was going through America's Story 3. So we were finishing up American history, like the late 1800s through present time. So the first book was from the Who Was series, Who Was Theodore Roosevelt by Michael Bergen. And then All of a Kind Family by Sydney Taylor. The Secret of the Hidden Scrolls, Book 4, Journey to Jericho by M.J. Thomas. We love that series. And this is a landmark book, The Wright Brothers, Pioneers of American Aviation by Quentin Reynolds. And then we have Who Was Henry Ford by Michael Bergen. The Imagination Station, Book 21, Madman in Manhattan by Marion Herring. We love the Focus on the Family series that they have here. And then we have the Tuttle Twins, Learn About the Law, Book 1 by Connor Boyack. And then we have the Tuttle Twins, Book 2, and The Miraculous Pencil by Connor Boyack. What Was the Titanic by Stephanie Sable. Thimble Summer by Elizabeth Enright. A Letter to Mrs. Roosevelt by C. Coco DeYoung. Blue Willow by Doris Gates. The Imagination, Book 27, Refugees on the Run by Chris Brack and Sheila Seifert. What Was the Great Depression by Janet B. Pascal. Who Was Franklin Roosevelt by Margaret Frith. This is The Hiding Place by Corrie ten Boom with Elizabeth and John Sherrill. This is the Young Readers edition. This was a wonderful book. I remember that being one of the favorites that year. What Was D-Diet by Patricia Brennan DeMuth. Snow Treasure, A Story of Courage and Adventure by Marie McSwiggan. The Imagination Station, Book 9, Escape to the Hiding Place by Marion Herring. And this is Childhood of Famous American series. This is a series my oldest really enjoyed. Harry S. Truman, Missouri Farm Boy by Wilma J. Hudson. The Secret of the Hidden Scrolls, Book 5, The Shepherd's Stone by M.J. Thomas. Who was John F. Kennedy by Yana Zeldis McDonough. And then again, another one from Childhood of Famous Americans, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Young Military Leader by George E. Stanley. What Was the Vietnam War by Jim O'Connor. What Was the Underground Railroad by Yonda Zeldis McDonough. What Was the First Thanksgiving by Joanne Holub. Who Was Daniel Boone by Sidel Kramer. What Was the Boston Tea Party by Kathleen Kroll. Who Was George Washington by Roberta Edwards. Let me get my next pile because this was a year of lots of reading. So, In the Year of the Boar by Jackie Robinson by Bet Bow Lord. What is NASA by Sarah Fabini. Who Was Abigail Adams by True Kelly. Who Was Sacagawea by Judith Bloom Frayden and Dennis Brendel Frayden. What Was the Lewis and Clark Expedition by Judith St. George. The Tuttle Twins and the Food Truck Fiasco, book number 4, Connor Boyack. Who Was Thomas Jefferson by Dennis Brendel Frayden. Who Was Martin Luther King Jr. by Bonnie Bader. I Am David by Anne Holm. Who Was Rosa Parks by Yonda Zeldis McDonough. The Tuttle Twins and the Road to Serfdom, book number 5 by Connor Boyack. The Tuttle Twins and the Golden Rule, book number 6 by Connor Boyack. Who Was Davy Crockett by Gail Herman. Miracles on Maple Hill by Virginia Sorensen. The Secret of the Hidden Scrolls, book 6, The Lion's Roar by M.J. Thomas. And this is the Usborne Illustrated Stories from Aesop, or Aesop, however you say it. The Secret of the Hidden Scrolls, book 7, The King is Born by M.J. Thomas. Plain Girl by Virginia Sorensen. Who Was Ronald Reagan by Joyce Milton. What Was the Berlin Wall? Who Was Andrew Jackson by Douglas Yucca. The Secret of the Hidden Scrolls, book 8, Miracles by the Sea by M.J. Thomas. The Tuttle Twins and Their Spectacular Show Business, book number 8 by Connor Boyack. The Tuttle Twins and the Fate of the Future, book 9 by Connor Boyack. Gone Away Lake by Elizabeth Enright. The Secret of the Hidden Scrolls, book 9, The Final Scroll by M.J. Thomas. Got one more pile left. The Tuttle Twins and the Education Vacation, book 10 by Connor Boyack. The Tuttle Twins and the Messed Up Market, book 11 by Connor Boyack. The Imagination Station, book 8, Battle for Cannibal Island by Marion Herring. What Was the Alamo by Pam Pollock and Meg Belviso. What Was the Gold Rush by Joan Holub. Brocco by Bruce Olson. What Were the Twin Towers by Jim O'Connor. What Was Hurricane Katrina by Robin Kuntz. Ronald Reagan, Young Leader. This is the Childhood of Famous Americans series, and this is by Montreux Dunham. Who Was Harriet Tubman by Yonda Zeldis McDonough. The Map Maker Chronicles, Prisoner of the Black Hawk. This is book number 2 by A.L. Tate. Who Was Sojourner Truth by Yonda Zeldis McDonough. What Was the Wild West by Janet B. Pascal. The Mapmaker Chronicles, Breath of the Dragon. This is book number 3 by A.L. Tate. And this is Johnny McKee and the Big Flood by Ermengarde Eberl. And this is The Good and the Beautiful Library, level 4. And then we have Passport to America, Your A to Z Tour of the States. And this is by Craig Froman. And I got this from Master Books. And then we have The Children's Atlas of the USA by Craig Froman. And this is also from Master Books here. So that wraps up. Oh, I have a couple things. So also he read The World Wars, An Introduction to the First and Second World Wars by Paul Downswell, Ruth Brocklehurst, and Henry Brooke. This is the Usborne book, and we sold that one. There was a couple things like about ghosts, and it was just really dark, some of the areas, and the pictures were wonderful, but the content, we just weren't a big fan of that, so we decided to get rid of that book. So just so you guys are aware. So that concludes what my oldest read in 5th grade during the 2021-2022 school year, where he set a goal of 75 books. So that was a lot of reading. So don't think like, oh, Amanda's child read all of those books. So my child at that grade should read them too. This was something where his reading was taking off like crazy, and he was just devouring books and reading at nighttime, reading over the weekend. So I hope this helps you guys pick out and gives you some ideas of some readers that you can assign your children for their personal reading. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hi guys, so this wraps up this little mini series that I put together, and where I went back years ago to show you what my children read at different grades and ages. And I hope this gives you guys some ideas of different books you can assign your children for their personal reading, no matter what reading level they're at or what interests that they have, but gives you peace of mind of what books that you can pick out and have them read. And I hope this has blessed you. I know that whenever I do my research and picking out books for my children, I always try to research as much as I can and find different people whose children have read them or they've read the books for themselves and listen to reviews and everything. But if this has really helped you, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and then I'll know that you guys are wanting to see more content like this. And I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day, and happy homeschooling.